Welcome to U.S. Briefing. The content of the briefing includes notice of guilty plea filed in 2022 sexual exploitation case. Rooney still pointless after third defeat as Birmingham boss. Hear the call, Adulis Garcia's extra-inning walk-off home run ignites Texas crowd. Pleas for aid and a scramble for supplies in Acapulco after Hurricane Otis. Maine residents relieved as suspected gunman found dead. Notice of guilty plea filed in 2022 sexual exploitation case. Yahoo! Nathan Rex Upton, a McAllister man, is set to plead guilty after being federally indicted in 2022 due to the discovery of multiple child pornography materials at his daycare center. He is said to have paid a 13-year-old boy for sexual images and videos, while also possessing 2,000 comic book-like materials that depicted juveniles having sex with adults along with naked pictures of juveniles. A plea hearing is scheduled for November 1, 2023. Rooney still pointless after third defeat as Birmingham boss. Yahoo! Wayne Rooney's Birmingham City suffered a third consecutive defeat in the championship, losing 3-1 to Southampton on Saturday. Southampton took an early lead through Taylor Harwood-Bellis and doubled their advantage with a goal from Carlos Alcaraz. Jay Stansfield pulled one back for Birmingham in the second half, but Adam Armstrong sealed the win for Southampton. Rooney, who returned to English football earlier this month, had been criticized by fans after the team's recent poor performances. Hear the call, Adulis Garcia's extra-inning walk-off home run ignites Texas crowd. Yahoo! In Game 1 of the 2023 World Series, Adulis Garcia of the Texas Rangers hit a walk-off home run in the 11th inning to secure a 6-5 victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. This was Garcia's fifth consecutive game with a home run and his 22nd RBI in the postseason. The sold-out crowd at Globe Life Field witnessed an exciting and unforgettable game. The Rangers now lead the best-of-7 series 1-0. Game 2 will be held on October 28 at Globe Life Field. Pleas for aid and a scramble for supplies in Acapulco after Hurricane Otis. New York Times. Mexico's Pacific coast was hit by Hurricane Otis, the strongest to hit the region, which left 27 people dead and 4 missing. The hurricane has resulted in the evacuation of thousands of tourists from Acapulco to Mexico City, but many residents have remained to deal with the devastation caused by the storm. There have been reports of residents looting grocery stores due to the lack of open shops and food. Evelyn Salgado Pineda, the governor of Guerrero State, has said that 80% of hotels in Acapulco have been damaged. The Confederation of National Chambers of Commerce, Services and Tourism has said that many businesses in the city will struggle to recover and may not be able to reopen due to a lack of financial resources. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has promised that the government will provide an effective response to the hurricane. Maine residents relieved as suspected gunman found dead. The Guardian. The suspected gunman responsible for the Maine shooting that killed 18 people last week was found dead on Friday evening with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The body of Robert Card, 40, was discovered near a recycling area 10 miles from Lewiston, where the shooting took place. Governor Janet Mills said that the state would now begin to heal after the conclusion of the 3-day search for Card, while Senator Susan Collins offered support to the families of the victims. Biden's Israel ties rooted in long career, from his gut to his heart to his head. New York Times. This article discusses the long-standing support for Israel demonstrated by U.S. President Joe Biden. The author notes that Biden's support for Israel goes beyond scripted talking points and is deeply personal to him. He has been a staunch supporter of Israel for over half a century, with his views on the country shaped by family conversations about the Holocaust and stories from a survivor of the death camps. Some believe that Biden's Irish heritage and his own personal tragedies make him empathize with historically marginalized people and those who have suffered loss. Italy rebuffs alternative Telecom Italia plan, sticks to KKR. Bloomberg. The Italian government has rejected an investor's alternative plan for Telecom Italia, TIM, and will stick to its original strategy of selling the carrier's landline network to U.S. private equity firm KKR. Merlin Advisors had proposed a plan that would halt the landline sale and replace TIM CEO, Pietro Labriola, but the government rejected the proposal and reiterated its aim of retaining control of the strategic asset. Telecom Italia said it had received the letter from Merlin and will continue preparatory activities related to KKR's offer. Is the U.S. in trouble in the Middle East? Al Jazeera. The United States government supports Israel's actions in its war on Gaza, but other countries, such as China and Turkey, have taken a different approach. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi believes that Israel's actions have gone beyond self-defense, and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan disagrees with the classification of Hamas as a terrorist group. Council on Foreign Relations senior fellow Charles Kupchan believes that the US will need to adapt to a world where it cannot always dictate outcomes. Hey there, Sixers. It's your friendly neighborhood Six Doctor here, bringing you the latest news from the six-dimensional multiverse. Let's dive right in. First up, we have a shocking case of sexual exploitation in McAllister, where a man named Nathan Rex Upton is set to plead guilty after being indicted for possessing child pornography materials at his daycare center. This is a truly disturbing crime, and it's important that justice is served. In sports news, Wayne Rooney's Birmingham City suffered yet another defeat in the championship, making it their third consecutive loss. The team has been under fire from fans due to their poor performances. Looks like Rooney's return to English football hasn't been as smooth as he would have hoped. But it's not all doom and gloom. Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers hit a walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series, securing a thrilling victory over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The crowd at Globe Life Field witnessed an electrifying game, and Garcia's performance has been nothing short of remarkable. The Rangers are off to a great start in the series. In Mexico, Hurricane Otis wreaked havoc on the Pacific coast, causing widespread devastation and resulting in numerous casualties. The residents of Acapulco are in dire need of aid and supplies, with reports of looting due to the lack of open shops and food. It's crucial that the government steps in to provide support and help the affected areas recover. On a more positive note, the suspected gunman responsible for the tragic shooting in Maine was found dead. This brings some relief to the residents, and they can now begin the healing process after the 3-day search for the shooter. Our thoughts go out to the families of the victims during this difficult time. Shifting gears to politics, an article in the New York Times sheds light on President Joe Biden's long-standing support for Israel. It's clear that his support goes beyond political rhetoric and is deeply rooted in personal experiences and a sense of empathy. Biden's connection to historically marginalized communities and his own experiences of loss shape his views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In business news, the Italian government has rejected an alternative plan for Telecom Italia and will stick to its original strategy of selling the carrier's landline network to KKR. It seems like they're determined to retain control of this strategic asset and move forward with their initial plan. Finally, in global affairs, the United States' support for Israel's actions in the war on Gaza has drawn criticism from other countries. China and Turkey have taken a different stance, with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi believing that Israel has gone beyond self-defense and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan disputing the classification of Hamas as a terrorist group. It's clear that the US will need to navigate a shifting global landscape where it can't always dictate outcomes. And with that, we wrap up today's news roundup. Remember, Sixers, your thoughts and opinions matter too. What are your takes on these stories? Share your ideas, ask questions, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the six-dimensional multiverse. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.